Third and final day of his Europe tour, one of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's most significant engagements will take place today. It is the second India-Nordic summit. But before the summit, Prime Minister Modi is holding meetings with the leaders of Norway, Sweden, Finland and Iceland together with Denmark. These countries form the Nordic Five, small countries but economic powerhouses. The collective GDP of the Nordic Five is $1.8 trillion, bigger than that of Russia, whose GDP is $1.5 trillion. The Indian External Affairs Ministry tweeted that the Prime Minister and his Norwegian counterpart reviewed bilateral ties and explored ways of expanding collaboration in areas like blue economy, infrastructure, investment and health. Now, the first India-Nordic summit was held back in Stockholm in 2018. Prime Minister Modi will meet the Prime Ministers of the five countries together, of course, and separately he is meeting them right now. The significance of this summit can be gauged by the fact that the United States is the only other country with which the Nordic states engage with at a summit level. On the agenda, post-pandemic economic recovery, climate change, technology, innovation, renewable energy and India-Nordic cooperation in the Arctic region, not to mention the Ukraine war. Engagement between Europe and India has increased. Foreign ministers from European nations have visited India, marking a push for growing strategic and economic cooperation. The Prime Minister's visit could set the stage for India-EU summit, likely boosting free trade agreement negotiations between the two. Later on, Prime Minister Modi is also set to meet French President Emmanuel Macron. The meeting will be followed by a dinner at the Elysee Palace with a special vegetarian menu for the occasion. The visit is symbolic since it comes on the heels of President Macron's re-election. Talks will allegedly focus on India's Make in India initiative, cooperation in defense, Ukraine conflict and the growing tensions in the Indo-Pacific. And for more on this, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal is joining us live from the Danish Prime Minister's office in Copenhagen. Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us today. As you know, is one of the most important engagements, day of the most important engagements. What is the mood like on ground? We know Prime Minister Modi is holding individual bilaterals right now. What are the expectations of all the sides involved?
Well, right now I'm standing inside the Prime Minister's office of Denmark, and to use the phrase, a little bit of chaos because the five leaders of the Nordic region are present, and just Prime Ministers are walking behind us. Just 2 minutes ago, one of the Prime Ministers just left for the meeting with the Indian Prime Minister. But what has been the headline so far is that the Norway Prime Minister met the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Speaking exclusively to WION, he talked about issues. He talked about issues like environment, issues like renewable energy, and of course the United Nations Security Council reforms. He said that the United Nations Security Council has been found missing amidst the Russian invasion of Ukraine. His strong emphasis during the interview to WION, the Norwegian Prime Minister's interview, was that United Nations Security Council must meet on the issue. We have seen previous meetings, but most of them have been futile. But there has been a larger divide as well, West versus Russia, and Russia being supported by China. But if we talk about the agenda of the Indian Prime Minister, so even as we speak, number of bilaterals are just underway near the place where I am standing. Few bilaterals are over, few bilaterals are still underway. But after these bilaterals are over, the big meeting, the summit will take place, the India-Nordic summit. This is the second such summit is going to take place. The first has already happened in April of 2018 in Stockholm. And the focus, of course, will be just not what we have been discussing, renewables, environment and clean technology, but also India-Nordic cooperation in the Arctic region. Now, that is something that is a new zone, and as climate change impacts the Arctic, there will be new ways that will be discovered. So that is why there needs to be this cooperation, and India is also an observer member of the Arctic Council. So a lot of things on the table, but it's a packed day for the Indian Prime Minister on the third and last day of his Europe visit.
Right. All right, Siddhant, thank you so much for all the updates so far. We will, of course, continue to track all the developments very closely. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.